As always, we will wait for about 2 minutes before we start the show. Hello and welcome to yet another conversation of PhD, the philosophical drama. Often, when we are in a chaos of a lot of things going on in the life, we tend to forget that we need to be patient and we need to wait for the right opportunity to go forward. We are skeptical about the future. We do not know exactly where to go beyond the point. And this reminds me of a very famous quote by Cardinal Newman that a man would do nothing. A man would do nothing if he waited until he could do it so well that nobody could find any fault with what he has done. Forging ahead in a PhD setup is very tricky and can demoralize people to a great extent. Today, we have a wonderful scientist who is going to share his PhD story and share his ideas and his thoughts about how he looks at finding opportunities beyond PhD. Today's guest is Dr. GaneshKumar Mothukuri. He's a PhD from IISER Pune and presently he's an assistant professor at the University of Geneva in Switzerland. To know his story, let me add him to this conversation. I'm just adding you, Ganesh, if you are there. Hello, Ganesh.
Hi, Amogh. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Firstly, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and congratulations you on your successful season 1 and then season 2 also.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are discussing today your PhD story, and we are also looking at as we have put it on the poster, light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay,
So
let's see.
So to start with, I want to know how did you get into the tunnel? Meaning, how did you end up finding a PhD position and getting into a PhD program?
See, finding a tunnel itself a big story. I think we have a lot of time to discuss, but okay, actually, in my masters, I came to know about CSR exam and then the path to PhD. But I'm not that much willing to do PhD in my masters. By by listening a lot of negative stories about PhD and other stories, so I was reluctant to do, honestly.
Right.
Then I continued as a lecturer after my masters. I taught to 11 and 12th class students and then bachelor students. Then during that period, then I want to try for government exam. So that is a classical path of any middle class, students. So I want to aim for a degree lecturer's exam. That is, I think it is a group 2 level exam that I need to pass in order to get a government job. So in order to enter for the examination, I need to qualify NET exam. That is one of the factor to write the exam. So then I aim for NET exam to clear, and then I want to go for a government job. That is a very traditional, very classic story of mine.
Okay.
So then I gave one first attempt in 2018 to 2008, but I didn't get any. I didn't get it. And when I gave the second attempt, I got a national rank 102 in CSR. Wow. So I would say that is a turning point because everybody's asking me where I want to do PhD and in which field I want to do PhD and other questions. Then I will get irritated. Why should I do PhD? I want to get my government job and then just want to do this. But as I'm working as a lecturer, I able to interact with a couple of professors in that college, and also some of my friends also appearing for CSR and other stuff. Then I discussed it thoroughly whether I'm taking the right step, because I got a doubt because everybody is buzzing around me that it's kind of like I'm taking a bad step.
Okay.
Because I'm missing some great opportunity. That's what I felt it. Because everybody is saying
not doing a PhD, you mean?
Not doing PhD, yes.
Okay.
Not doing PhD would be a bad choice.
Okay.
So I think that kind of sense I got it. That kind of environment I had that time, I would say.
Okay.
So then finally, I decided my path, but this rank, because everybody saying that you got fantastic rank and you have potential to do things. So I have a lot of encouragement actually around me than myself. Then I thought I had a kind of a second thought. I'm really doing something. I'm really missing something or not. I want to question myself whether my decision is really right or not. Right. Then I decided to go for interviews first to see. Because what I heard stories from my local universities, friends are not good. Actually, those kind of, I didn't get any good suggestions from them because.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about all the stuff, but that's how I have a feeling. So I want to cross check whether that is really true or not.
Okay.
Then I applied for all IITs, all NITs and IISERs and all. I just applied for a PhD entrance. I want for interviews, and then I traveled all over India, all the IITs, Madras, Kanpur, Mumbai, and everything.
Nice.
Then actually I realized it's not the same for everyone. See, I acknowledged it. A lot of people had difficulty because they took 5 years, somebody took 8 years, 9 years. I even saw one guy doing 10th year PhD. But at the same time, I saw the other side also, like who finished less than 5 years, 4 years PhD, and other stuff. So I thought, the life of students is not same. Everybody had their own course of experience, So I thought, okay, if I take, I just think what is this path? If I go this direction, government job, what will be the case? What is if I go for PhD? What will be the case?
Right.
Then I thought, okay, if I take, if I clear the government exam, I will get a government job within my district, close to my family, and cozy life, comfort life, and other stuff. Then if I go to PhD, lot of uncertainty. Then I thought, somehow at that moment I felt I want to do experiment with my life.
Okay. That's a brave decision. Yeah.
It's very, very brave, and I don't know, it may be a stupid decision also at that time, but I don't know. But I thought, I know this path is very, very cozy and comfortable, but why should we in cozy comfort?
Right.
I thought still, at that age, I felt, okay, I had a lot of time to explore. I felt instead of doing job and getting married immediately and just all this stuff, I thought, okay, let's give it some experimental time.
Okay.
Then I decided to go for PhD. That's where I went to the tunnel.
Okay. No, so we are discussing about these uncertainties about after PhD, but I see in your case, going for a PhD was also very uncertain zone, and you're not sure about. So how did you end up at IISER Pune as a PhD student? What made you take that decision that this is the right place to be?
See, actually, I did my master's in organic chemistry in a local college, which is affiliated to Andhra University, where we don't have a excellent lab facility. I know, in my master's, I know only TLC and other stuff, but I never had any chance to do column and other stuff.
Right.
Somehow, as a chemist, I felt that I don't have the practical experience, and I want to get it the practical experience, and I want to learn more. I had this always. So then, actually, then when I'm going for all IITs, for example, IIT Madras, I got inorganic chemistry. I got position in inorganic, but I didn't get qualified in organic chemistry department.
Okay.
But I want to do organic chemistry. Somehow I'm a bit obsessed with organic chemistry that time. But later I see that everything is same. But at the time I'm very obsessed with organic chemistry. So I got a bit of polymer chemistry department in IIT Bombay, but I didn't go. In IIT Kanpur also I got a position, but somehow my health was not good. When I got in Kanpur, I got some kind of joint pains because of this cold weather in December. So all these things are pushed me back to Hyderabad. Then I was in Hyderabad for 6 months because I didn't take any other. Although I got an opportunity to do PhD in Madras, Bombay, Kanpur, but I didn't go for it. Then I thought, okay, I will do PhD in Hyderabad, some like Central University or something. Hyderabad. But at the time, somehow I didn't get any in IIT Hyderabad. I didn't get there. IIT Hyderabad also got it, but somehow I couldn't do it. Also, some other factors affected me to not to go for that. At the time, the only option was left. At that moment, IISER Pune was the last institute who was conducting interviews. Then I never heard actually IISERs because that time IISERs are very new.
Right.
And then I thought, what is this IISERs? Then how like, because I want to see whether this doing PhD at IISER is worthwhile or not, So then I inquired about the IISERs, and then people say this is a new institutes, very well funded institutes. They're going to be big in future, and blah blah blah.
I think when you're saying 2008, 2009, it was like 2-3 years old institute, right? IISER
yes,
Pune.
exactly.
Started in 2006.
2 years, I think 2-3 years. Yeah, 2 years old because I joined in 2010 actually, but I gave my so I know that was like 3 years old. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was really dilemma. So then I thought, okay, let's give a chance. Then I went there and I gave an interview. I have been selected. Then I had to choose what to do, whether IIT Hyderabad or IISER Pune. But I told you IIT Hyderabad is not an option because of some other factors. Then I really inquired the faculty in IISER Pune. They are young faculty. Then young institute, young faculty. What will be the future? I don't know. Then I thought, okay, already I'm doing experiment. This will be another experiment.
Okay.
See, I'm taking. Actually, I just drive myself into high risk situations.
You like posing challenges to your life.
Exactly. Somehow if I know whether comfortable, cozy situation. Somehow I thought, okay, I know this path. I know how it works. But what is the other way? That's how I pushed always myself into that corner. Always okay, this is okay, I know, but what if you go to this direction? So I thought, okay, let's do it. Then I joined in IISER Pune in that way. I want to do it will be a big experiment for myself and my life. So
yeah, I mean, you have a very unique way of deciding your path.
Yeah,
you like push yourself to the corner and
I believe one thing that time, because I know it's high risky, but at the same time, you'll get high gain, because I know it's a new institute, new faculty, and I thought, okay, every faculty want to prove themselves. When you become a new faculty, you want to prove. At the same time, when you establish a new institute, you want to prove yourself.
Right.
And I know that there is some 600 crore. I know this buzz. There are 600 crore budget in 3 years or 5 years for IISER Pune. They want to expand. Right now, they are in a rented building, I know. But I thought, okay, I think it sounds great. What to take risk? That's what I felt.
Yeah. You felt that there's enough firepower in the institute and the faculty to forge ahead. Interesting to know. We've been discussing in the last 2 seasons about the process of PhD and how people have ups and downs. And you mentioned that there are people who finish in 10 years, people who finish in 4 years. Uh, what was your joyride of the tunnel, I would say?
Okay, it is very interesting because I just see. I don't know what is research. I was in peptide chemistry, but I don't know what exactly peptide it is. When I joined PhD, it's honest about it. I know what is peptide bond. That's not. I know my educational background. I didn't come from research environment. I didn't come from research environment. It's about more of theory because I was in a local college and I don't have that exposure. What people had in IISER and IITs, I don't have that exposure. So I have always this fight. I want to learn what is their research, and what is all about. Then when I joined my first day, I asked my boss, like, sir, what should I have to get my PhD? Because I want to get degree. Then
Right.
what should I have to get a degree? Then he said simply, see, I will tell you, like, if you have 5 publications, you will get PhD. That's what he mentioned. Simple line.
Okay. Okay. That's a very simple way of putting it.
Because that's why I understand very simple way, because I don't know I don't know all about research, but I have this figure. Okay, if I get 5 publications, I will get a PhD. I think this is simple line that for a kind of a layman like me, who don't have this research exposure, it's very self-explained by that sentence. I thought, okay, he told a lot of things, but I took this line from that.
Okay. Okay. You filtered out this one particular thing.
Okay, so to simplify myself, to
Yeah.
clarify myself, okay, if I publish my research in 5 publication of international journals, and I'm eligible to get a PhD. Okay, so let's find out the path to publish a paper. That's how I started my PhD.
That's a very, very good way of doing, like breaking down your
Exactly.
goal into
Confusion.
small term
Exactly.
goals. That's interesting.
Yeah.
When was it like? I'm suddenly doing a fast forward here. Yeah, because we are trying to look at your perspective about going out of PhD. Now you know how to get a PhD, but I'm sure you had failures, and you felt like, why am I here, or something like that. And then it so happens that most PhDs go through these kind of phases, and then you stop looking at the future goal. You're not trying to see what is beyond PhD. You're stuck in that loop, and that's why I'm calling it the tunnel, because
yes,
you do not have an escape route there.
Yeah.
What was your way of pushing forward to see the light at the end? What was your way of doing it?
Seeing it like think beyond PhD. That's what you're asking, right?
Exactly.
So see, I was initially, like, I was in teaching because I want to be lecturer, and even I want to be a degree lecturer. So I like teaching, first of all.
Right.
That's my core at the time. And I thought, okay, well, if I have PhD, then instead of degree, I can teach masters. That's the simplest way. I always make my thinking very, very simple to myself. So I don't want to complicate.
I can mention here that for my first organic chemistry practical course, you were my TA, and we had a jolly time with you, all of us. I remember that very well. So yeah, go ahead. I know very well individually, personally, that how much you love teaching, and
okay. I don't know how do you think, but you can tell me later. but see, because my simplest way is, if I get my PhD, I can apply for universities, like for assistant professor, and I can teach to master students, and at the same time I can work on my own research idea at some point of my life when I get out of this PhD. That's what I have. I don't have much bigger thinking than that.
Right.
I already want to be a lecturer, but if I do PhD, I can do research and become a professor. That's a simple line that I had in my mind. I didn't think.
But did this help you keep motivated in those dark times where you were not sure what's happening in your PhD? Was this the way you looked very simply at it, that okay, I will finish it someday. I need to be a teacher or lecturer someday and
Yeah.
just be happy with it.
Yes. So it is actually you're asking whether is it alone and help me to motivate or not? Like get motivated or not.
In the
So
negative times, when you were really your backs are to the wall.
actually, it is very I don't know what you say. It is see, it is always like this. My boss gave this kind of a line. Why I took this line is I said, okay, if I have 5 publication, each publication is like a brick. If you break one brick, you're pass. You just went ahead to another second level. You break second. It's kind of a game. Break it,
Yeah.
break it, break it, break it. So I always focus on my project. Okay.
Right.
If I took this project, I always ask my boss what is the deadline where you're expecting to publish.
Right.
So I went to the discussion. He said, okay, if you have this structure, cluster structure, NMR data, if you have this kind of a natural amino acid, if you find this kind of new, like we had this discussion. He says, okay, at this point, we can publish paper. So I always define the goals, and I would push myself. But if it's successful, there is no story behind it. You just publish and then finish it. But what if you don't reach it, if you don't get the result? First 2 years, I was really a jolly person because whatever touch, it's a golden, it's
Okay.
gold. Then the third year and fourth year is a big disaster because whatever the project I took, it didn't go. So the problem with as myself, I face another problem is stuck into the project. Sometimes you like your projects too much and it will harass you. So if you like too much, it will harass you. That what happened in my third year. Like I took one of the project which I'm really stuck with that, like myself, because I was really love it, and it is not going, and I'm not moving out of my project. So this is some kind of a different way of stuck your PhD.
Right.
So that's how I stuck my third year and fourth year, and fifth year. Then it's giving me a bit of jerk because I already reached fifth year. Now my
Right.
fellowship will end. I don't get my money. It's not about the PhD. It's not. It's also like you are surviving.
Yeah, true.
Then we are as a PhD. Like people talk always. PhD is a bit a disaster. It's not a great profession or something because you get paid less.
Right.
As a fellowship, and I know that in 2016 also, like there are a lot of road march and to
Right.
hike the fellowships and everything happened. It happened in my fifth year fellowship hike. So at that time I know that I cannot get more than 1 year of fellowship. I will be stuck. I cannot depend on my parents again. It's again family pressure coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I thought, okay, I had to finish somehow. Then I limited myself. I focused myself. Okay, just throw this project aside. Although my boss, we had a healthy discussion. I never had a heat discussions with my professor, but I always says this. I always fix the terms. So what if this is not working, we can take it later, and this is not working, we can look at later. Then I used to say, okay, I have finished 2 chapters. I want to finish 2 more chapters, and what to be done, how it will be done, how much time it will take, and all this stuff. Then I got great support from master students who are doing internship in. So I had great support from them too that time, and I was able to generate 2 new more projects, and then they are also successful at the end of the 5th year, and yeah. But I was stuck in my PhD because of my own problem of loving project too much.
Right. But I really like the way you said brick by brick you started breaking every time that what is my short-term goal to go for the long-term goal of PhD.
Exactly.
And then PhD happened, and then from IISER Pune you flew to EPFL Switzerland, if I'm right.
Yes.
Not directly as a postdoc, but you flew before that for an interview.
Exactly.
And that is an interesting story. How did that work out?
See, in 2015 December, I gave pre-synopsis at the end of it's already five and a half years of my PhD. It's
Right.
not I crossed already my 5th year, and I got extra support from IISER Pune itself for my fellowship at that time to continue another 6 months.
Right.
Then once I gave my pre-synopsis, I started applying, and then as like in everyone, I focused on US job market.
But
Because
I'm interested in understanding your plans of getting a PhD were to become an assistant professor
yes,
somewhere,
yes,
stay with your family, and
yeah,
then what was the transition in your head that happened due to start writing for postdoc positions abroad? What was
yeah.
that?
Actually, because it was not that much straight as I understood. Because I said, okay, let's finish PhD and then just apply professors. You will get it. It's very simplest way that I thought in the beginning. But I came to know that there's a lot of competence, what do you call
Competition.
competition
Right.
in the
Yeah,
market.
because you're now competing with people all over the world.
Exactly. I missed that broad picture at the time. So then when I reached my PhD, then I really understand that a lot of people had a PhD like me, and there are a lot of institutes in India. Every year, people are coming out of their institute with PhD degree, and everybody is eligible to do this for assistant professors. Applying for assistant professors in the universities. Then people looking at I'm looking at the qualification, how you want to be, how you want, if I want to be a faculty, what will be, how can be my best to compete with the people.
Right.
The people are trying, then people are getting that you have to do postdoc in international labs and then try to publish high impact journals than what you publish in PhD. And now the standards are increasing your bars in higher, much higher.
Right.
But I thought, okay, well, it's not a ever-ending story, It's not. It's like a ever-ending story that you have to do. Okay, you have to publish. What if you don't publish again? Questions. A lot of questions are coming in. Okay, so as I said, I already myself pushed myself into the sea at the beginning.
Right.
That okay, we already in the sea. Why thinking too much about it? Let's swim and see.
Wow.
How far you can swim and where you can give up.
Right.
I want to see my give up point myself. How far I can push myself and where I want to give up all this stuff. Because doing this experiment with your life is I don't think so that you can do a lot of time when you're a bachelor, when you don't have family commitments and other stuff, like when you are in 24 25, then yeah, you bar yourself, I said okay, I have a lot of time and then jump it and explore it. But at the end of PhD and when you want to do postdoc, when you want to pursue your career, I don't think so I have the same commitment. Because there are a lot of responsibility are coming up on you.
Right.
Then I thought, okay, let's do. But how many years of postdoc I want to do to get my dream job, becoming a professor in a university?
Right.
I don't know. The answer is I don't know. When I discuss with other people, nobody says same answer, because I saw people who had nature and science papers not getting, assistant professor jobs, potential job.
Yeah.
Then I thought, what is this? What is this all about? Because is it publication defines your merit? There are a lot of philosophical questions that comes up.
Right.
Really, it is also uncertain. Honestly, it's uncertain. It's not that if you get nature, you will get a job. It's not certain.
Right.
It's not that true. Then I thought, okay, but okay, what if I don't get it? What I will get in? For example, I will go postdoc. If you publish nature and all, I will try for my positions. Okay. I will try for my dream job. Then you have to bury that. What if you're not? The question is, what if you're not? Are you going to be unemployed, or you can survive yourself? That's the question. In another job. I thought, okay, I'm doing in my own field. I thought, okay, I'm in with organic chemistry and peptide chemistry. Okay, then I can survive in some of the pharma industry somewhere. But it's not the same story, because there is a lot of competition. You have to fight for it and you need to get it,
Yeah, true.
Okay, I thought it's the same battle. If you get nature, you will battle for your dream job. If you don't get it, you will battle for other job. So it's the same battle, but you're in different field, in different ground.
Right.
Okay, I thought, okay, it's a win-win situation, 50-50. Let's go for postdoc. That's what I thought.
I really like the simple way of deciding that you have always chosen at any given point of time. With every challenge that has come, you've always decided let's try and give it a shot.
Yeah, I think one has to take his own decision. Nobody will
Right.
take. If I listen to somebody and then take a decision, I will regret. I shouldn't hear. I shouldn't have heard about, because when I want to do PhD, it's a big question for me, because at the end, if I don't get what I want, then I will blame all my surrounding people who pushed me to do PhD.
Right.
So I really test myself whether I want to do PhD or not. I really traveled throughout India, all institutes, like 2-3 months, and then decided myself whether I had to do PhD or not. Because if I don't do that, if I jump directly in PhD, definitely I would have scolded my friends or my professors. Definitely. So always I took my own decision.
Yeah. So coming to Switzerland,
Hmm.
how did you get there? I mean,
Yeah, because you see, I want to go US. Again, it's again impact of all other people around me, because US is an English speaking country. If you go for Europe, you don't speak French or German, or Europe is different linguistic countries. So you will have you will pose other difficulties in your lifestyle. And I heard all this stuff in my when I'm applying for postdoc. So I thought, okay, I will apply for UK and US. That's what I stick to it. But every time I apply, like I applied for almost 30 plus applications, and then everybody's saying, "Fantastic, your CV is very good, but we don't have position." And somebody says, we don't have funding. I'm getting like replies, but nobody is giving a positive reply.
right.
So I really bit of frustrated actually, because I already crossed 5.5 years my PhD. I cannot stay at my institute in either Pune a long time, because again I will not get my fellowship supportance.
Yeah. The clock is ticking at that time.
Exactly. It's really sticking, and there are a lot of pressure on me. So I thought, okay. Then I told my boss, I told my professor, and then I applied for Europe also. Then I just applied two. One is one German institute, and one in Switzerland. And then within 1 week, I got a reply from APFL, and they asked me for a Skype interview. And then I gave Skype interview. Then he said that, oh, why just come over here and see the lab, and we also will get to know it better. Then you can also decide whether you want to do postdoc here or not, because we need to see the compatibility, right? That's what he mentioned. The professor at EPFL, he was really a person who tests this kind of a compatibility, irrespective of your skill set. You want to see whether I can cope up with the lab or not. That's what his intention that time. I thought, okay, it is also a very good experiment for me. Anyway, to and fro, they will pay. So I thought, okay, let's have a foreign trip. And at the same time, you're doing experiment. So, okay. I thought, okay, somebody is sponsoring your experiments, and that's a really good chance. Then I just flew here, and then I stayed 3 days here. And then I asked him directly, what do you think at that moment? He said, I'm really happy. If you want, I will give you offer letter. That's what he mentioned the third day. Because after 2 days interaction, then one day I presented everything, and second day I interacted with the lab people here and everything. And the third day, like he mentioned to me, if I'm willing to continue, yeah, he's okay with me to take. Then once I went back to Pune, then I got almost 10 to 15 days. I got an offer letter. Yeah. Then I asked my boss to push my synopsis, final defense. Then I gave my defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Very, very interesting. And I mean, I'm saying you, in that also you saw it as an experiment to come and just see what happens. That's an interesting thing to do, because that way you do not put the pressure on yourself. I think that's
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
it so happens in those times of when you're trying to finish up your PhD and the clock is ticking, you tend to put the pressure on yourself about what will my future be. And
Exactly.
I really like, and I think most people can take it from you, this thing that it's okay. I mean, you just can have some experiments with your life and
Because
do.
you will not have many options at some point. You don't have many options, and then you have to live with your option. Then you have to
Right,
convince yourself. How you will convince? The way you
right,
see is the vision. Not vision. Like the way you see will give you positive pressure or negative pressure.
right, right,
I thought, okay, instead of taking it as a negative, let's take it as a positive. Let's go ahead. That's what I feel. It's kind of a, maybe you fool yourself sometimes as positive and then go ahead. I think that's all. Yeah.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. My next question that I'm heading to is the the
Yes,
next
please.
transition that you had, which was when the world was even more in negative zone, COVID times, and you moved from EPFL to University of Geneva. Uh, there is a
See,
big hue and cry right now that because of the economy is going down, there's no funding, job market is down. It's very difficult, especially people in academia, to get postdocs or get jobs.
yes.
What was your experience, and again, how was your positive attitude helping you in this case?
See, you always aim for your big dream, your dream. That's what you chase your life. I don't know. I am not enough experience because I didn't cross till now. I didn't have a settled job right now, and I cannot say anything. But still, I think experimental space is going on. See what? See, I want to be a professor when I want to do a postdoc. But now I have opened for other opportunities too, like going for pharma industry.
Right.
And because in my PhD, I got a kind of experience to work in academia. You know. But in my postdoc, the environment is a bit different. It's kind of
Mhm.
a company culture. Although it's academic lab, here my scientist is a person who has this entrepreneurial mindset.
Right.
So because as your PA mindset, the lab culture decide, will be
Okay.
like generally lab environment will be depend on PI.
Right.
So here I got a kind of an exposure how industry will be. I don't know how industry will be because I'm not. I don't hold any positions in industry. So right now in postdoc I got an experience of industrial environment a bit, not too much, but bit
Okay.
sense. Then I thought, okay, I'm also capable person to go for industry, and of course the challenges might be a bit different than academic.
Right.
Mm, then I'm just learning about company culture right now,
Hmm.
and because the point is again you realize things when you go, because I see always I make my confusion questions into simplest way to keep myself calm. So that's my
Right.
personal way of looking at it. So
Right.
I thought, okay, right now there's a lot of crisis going on. You don't get a lot of fund to do research in academic lab. If I can apply for position, and I can apply for funding, but I don't know again I will get it or not, because there could be more qualified persons than me, and there are a lot of things are the other side. Then I thought, okay, so let's consider being an entrepreneur. Like, what if you want to start your own something later?
Okay.
Okay, so I came up to this by keeping my dream as becoming professor in academic. But as soon as I entered Switzerland, bit of my mindset was changed because of the culture that I exposed here. Because
Right.
that Switzerland is one of the top innovation country. They always go for innovations, and they always have this advanced technologies always in their lab. So I thought, of course, but of course I cannot stay here lifelong. I want to go from my home country, and I want to do
Right.
something there. It's not like I can stay here and do that stuff. Then
Right.
I thought, okay, let's look at it in other perspective of life. I know the dream job and the settlement at some point and other stuff, but I thought, okay, let's think as an industry person, like we are application oriented. Like you want to start your own. Although you become a professor, you can, because here I see a lot of startups spinning off from the PhD lab.
Right.
And that is really what do you call give a spark to me to think in different direction.
Right.
Because if I want to become a professor and I find something innovative in my lab and I want to take it to market, then how to look at it? And because in my PhD I didn't get that kind of exposure because I don't have that much. I don't have that kind of results to take the market, because you do some. I'm not saying in negative. I'm saying very positive that you have to do both application oriented and basic research. Otherwise, because basic research is leading to the innovations today. I cannot say that you have to stop basic research and do the innovations. People are a lot of arguing about it. I don't care. I don't worry. I don't be one side, because I want both of them, because you need to do both basic research and you have to do innovations. Otherwise, science cannot exist.
Right.
So now I'm thinking about innovation leads to how can I take innovation to the market. So now I'm thinking in that entrepreneurial way of looking at whether because if I go to pharma, or if I want to become professor, then what if I find something myself, innovative product, and how can I take it to market? Right now, I'm in that phase to explore the path. Yeah.
But how was the transition? Was it very difficult because of COVID times, or
Yes.
this was your motive to explore another aspect? But
See,
did COVID have a problem with that?
Actually, right now, people are really going. People are flowing. I would say, like, jobs are there, postdoc jobs are there. People are flying 2 years. Although, of course, the terms are different, because if somebody wants you to join in 3 months, but that guy taking 6 months to join, so that's what happening. But if the good thing is that if somebody committed you a job, they try 99% to keep that word.
Right.
So that is a good. I think that is a good thing in our field. I don't know. I think it will be in every field, but that's what I see from my close circle. Because who are getting job, they're keeping them for, like, they're saying they're keeping their word. Because one of my friend, like, 6 months, 7 months, and then they're willing to give, and then they're still after 6 months he able to join the lab. Because in 6 months is too much for a academic lab. They don't want to waste the time, or they don't want to waste money, or they want to hire somebody. But still, it's happening at certain level. But I know, at least in my close circle, I can say that. I think that is a good part. For me, at the end of my 5th year, I just started applying for jobs. Of course, I applied for one or two assistant professor job, but I gave an interview, but I couldn't succeed. That's it's just fair. A lot of competition, and
Part of the thing.
it's a part of any exam, competitive exam. So I cannot keep thinking negative about it. So I had to, still I'm applying for them, a few. So I thought, okay, let's go for another postdoc, because I was in EPFL for 5 years. I thought it's like it gave me a lot of comfort and other stuff. So I thought of moving lab. Then I choose the right position, because he in this position, like the faculty also have a startup company.
Okay.
I thought it is in my see. It's always thinking in my direction, taking at least a step towards my direction, because I like the way how companies are spinning off from the lab in EPFL. And how students are becoming CEO, CSO of the company, and they're pushing their product to market. At some point, once you develop the product, they're selling off to companies. I see people are doing it. I like that vibrant environment in EPFL. So that's how I bit inspired or sparkled by the idea of this entrepreneurial mindset, being entrepreneur. Rather than thinking the basic science and find something and publish in science, Forget about that. Like that. So somehow this idea struck me in EPFL. Then in this current position, this professor had startup spin-off. They don't have spin-off, but they have the one company. So I thought, okay, it's great chance to learn because
Yeah.
the company is in incubation at University of Geneva. So it is in still kind of a growing baby, like. So I thought it's being that again you will be very what do you call it, driven because you want to see the product because you want to push this into a big company. You want to make this small company to separate entity from the university, and then you want to grow your company as a big. I thought if I'm in that kind of stream, definitely it's a great chance to learn a lot of things.
Right.
Just hoping that I might be I might be an entrepreneur, but I don't know. I thought keeping this one is making me very happy. So I thought I tried because of that I applied here, and then I joined the present lab.
Right.
But continually, of course, I'm applying for pharma companies, big companies. I'm trying for my big plans, but we don't know that. We don't know how the things will work. But still, focusing on my big plan and doing experiment with my inner feelings, inner idea that I want to try for becoming an entrepreneur someday, and then try something, learn something in that direction. Yeah.
Right. Very, very interesting story you shared with me as well as all our audience. Looking back, going through different tunnels, I would say, trying to find the light and keeping the positive attitude that you have. Would you share some advice with people who are aspiring to be PhD or any career for that matter?
I think see. Like PhD, every career has its own hurdle because I know people from my software, I know people from different sector business, I know all people, but there's nothing special thing that you have to be so worried about PhD because the only thing is that people are getting less paid in PhD. That's the thing. See, if you're well paid like other jobs like software or something like this, it's like other job. If you find in some company, you go for some other company. So only one matter is that your financial situation should be good, and but PhD you will get a right now at least people are getting a bit reasonable, not too much salaries when compared to other jobs. That you can survive at least in Pune or Bangalore, that you can survive with this or Hyderabad you can survive with this fellowship. But if somebody getting more salaries, and I think people don't complain that much because it's like job, and also the problem is the PhD doesn't consider as an experienced candidate.
Right.
These two things are most worrying aspects of this
which I think now our at least government of India is now recognizing PhD as part of the experience. So that's not really bad in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. At the time, like when you have to 2008, it's not that case, and it's a different challenge. But I think see, my simplest conclusions didn't come in single day. That's the thing I can say, that you have to burn your brain a lot, and it's a tough call sometimes to take. And also, the life has to give a chance at what you want, or you have to take the chance what you got and then made your perception to that. You have to do either of way to make your life happy. So I think my philosophy is that. So that's what my simplest suggestion from my experience, I would say.
Great. It was amazing to have you on the show today. Thank you so much. And I'm very sure that knowing your philosophy and your attitude towards short-term goals and long-term goals and the problems associated with it, I'm sure a lot of people will be inspired. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you for this opportunity to share my experiences. Okay, great. I had amazing discussion with you, and I just went to my previous things and all. Yeah, I now I'm a bit nostalgic about a lot of things now. Like I'm thinking a lot of things now.
That's good. We are happy that you enjoyed this conversation, and see you soon.
Okay, see you soon. Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. So yes, that was a very, very interesting outlook towards the problems, and as we are talking about finding the light at the end of the tunnel. It may happen that when you are in the dark phases of the tunnel, you may not realize that the tunnel does not have just one opening, but probably has multiple openings at the other end. So keep trudging, try moving towards the light, try finding the light, and keep life really simple. It always helps. With that, we come to an end of this show, this conversation for today. We continue with amazing stories again in the next few Sundays. Do do stay tuned to our page, and most importantly, right now, please do stay safe. Please do not go outside if it's not really essential. Do a good job of being a good and responsible citizen and help people who are in need, and just stay safe. See you guys soon.